welcome to my garden. As you can see, this half of the garden is gone right now. We're in the final stages. The Sherbcake from Tiki Cuts we are going to be taking down tonight. So this will be the last time you see it this way. Tonight I will get a little harvest video. It's not super rocket science with Cannatrol. Just going to cut everything. If all the bottoms are finished, I'll take everything. If it's not, I might just take the tops first and see where we're at, because I don't want to overload the Cannatrol, so we'll just kind of do it like that. The grape lemon cherry has a little bit left. The foxtails are finally starting to kind of unfoxify. It's finally starting to get some of the smell, like the grape smell's finally coming in. It's finally starting to look good. I mean, it always looked good, but now it's finally starting to smell good. We did have one little problem in here towards the end of the run, and that's, I think, why the leaves got a little bit extra crispified, is we accidentally had a dry down. I had a mosquito dunk residue in my reservoir, and what happened is it clogged my little filter because I let the reservoir get low, so all the little parts that were floating on top of the water tried to go through the filter and stopped the water for a few days, which I didn't know. And these are two massive plants, so they did not enjoy the water stoppage. The grape lemon cherry had much less of a problem, probably because it's the closest to where the water came in, so all the last water would have stayed with it. Tray to grow, bone dry, total like, I mean, I had been watering from the top because I was putting in some peach extract, and some of this also might be because that was all they were getting. They were taking in all the nutrients instead of having the clean water from the bottom like they were used to. So we got a little yellow, some curl on some of these lower leaves where they died, I'll show you, but I figured it out in time, got the water back on. It's been rolling for like 4 days, perfect water. It's just at the right time. I guess some people do scheduled dry downs. I don't ever do those in my auto pots. I do sometimes turn off the reservoir if I do a big top watering, like some root wise or something like that, because I don't want it to be drowning. And then normally I just turn it off. Like if these big plants, I just turn it off while they were sleeping. And then the next morning when the lights came back on, or the next night when they came on, I would turn it back on. So you're talking, 8 hours, 12 hours, 16, whatever they're sleeping. And then while they're awake, you definitely want to. If they were in stretch, probably wouldn't even worry about it, turning the water off. I just water in the goodies and they just eat them up and they'd be fine by the time the lights went off. But everything in here is looking good. We have the 30-gallon rolling too. And then next time, just before we go and do some close-ups, just talk about the next run. The next run in here, we are going to do the tray to grow again. We're going to do the 4 easy to grow systems, which is the 3.9 gallon pots where it's 2 pots and 1 reservoir. And then we're also going to bring in our 3XL in here and put it in the middle, or on this side, so we'll have like 3XL on this side of the tent, the 4 3.9 gallons, and then this tray to grow. We're going to take the 30 gallon, put it in the 4x4 and grow some food in it and do some autoflowers in some smaller pots that we hand water. And then this whole flower tent's going to be automated for the next run on the autopot system. I think that's just going to be legit, man. I think it's going to rock. And then we're definitely doing the Sherbcake again. Might throw in the grape lemon cherry again because we have clones of them. We're going to do Neon Sunshine, a new seed, and our favorite clone. And then we are going to do, we have a bunch of stuff. Code Red from Exotic, Code Red, Black Patronus, that Neon Sunshine seed I mentioned, and something else I can't think of off the top of my head that sounded fantastic. And then I think because we're going to have the 7, we're going to have 1 spot left. I haven't decided if I want to run a clone of this Gooey Gummies just because it was so small when we took it. It's got a cool little funk to it. And so we never got to see it on this plant. I mean, this is just going to go to edibles. You can't even see it in any of the pictures. But it's because we did it so late. It basically started in flower. But it smells good. So I don't know if I'm going to do that or if I'm going to pop something for Myrie. I might just pop the Gorilla Goat that I got. Golden Goat times Gorilla Glue, or Gorilla Glue times Golden Goat. Sounds fantastic. Kind of uplifting thing to have around. So I thought I'd do that. So maybe we'll do that. I mean, that plant's going to be smaller too, but that's why we'll take a clone of it so we know if it's good, we can keep it. Because everything else is already big, so we want to get back into flower as soon as possible. And then we have a lot of work to do. I got to clean up this whole grow room. I got to, we got 2 more weeks, half a month, 16 days to get all this through the Cannatrol. Maybe a little bit longer because we do have an auto flower, and we'll have the watermelon Z-Skittles coming down too. So we got a lot of stuff going on. Oh, the other thing we're growing, watermelon Z-Skittles made me think of it, is watermelon gushers from Cannatrol. We'll see. Should be fun, man. I'm super excited. Everything looks good. The clones are ready to get into the pots. All we have to do is harvest the Sherbcake tonight. Grape, lemon, cherry in 8 days, hopefully, when the Sherbcake is done. And then we're just going to go from there. We'll get everything reset up when we get the new garden set up for the next run. I'll go back over setup, how I set up the 3.9 gallons, how we do the XLs, tray to grow. It's not even going to move. There is no setup. Once I've had it here, this will be I think it's our 4th cycle. Could be the 3rd cycle. Could be misremembering. But I think it's our 4th cycle in it. We haven't moved it. We haven't taken the pot off of it. Same thing. We just have clean water going through the aqua valve. We'll go back there and check it when we clean the tent, when I get in here and scrub the floor and stuff before the next run to make sure everything looks fine on the aqua valve. But since we haven't had any problems, not expecting problems, and then we'll just rip. 4th run, living soil, all organics. Should be awesome. All right, let's do a quick spin around where we take a look at some of the tops of these because they look fantastic. And then, I'll do my harvest video sometime during the week. And that'll be it. That'll be it, guys. And then we're on to the next run. We could start talking about rebuilding, things to do in between runs, cleaning. I got a lot of cleaning to do, which I don't even want to show you, but I'll show you. And then that's what we'll do. But everything in here looks great. Let's move on to the close-ups. And we are back, everybody. We are in the Mars Hydro 5x5 under this brand new FCE 6500. This is our first run with this light. It was a huge upgrade for us. Originally in here we had the TS 3000, which is a 450 watt light. Great light. Ran the 5x5. It's probably a little undersized for the 5x5, but it did it like a boss. If you're looking to save a little money and you need a budget light, seriously check out that TS 3000. Sometimes it goes on sale for like less than $300, like $250, $225. If you need a good light that'll produce great buds at a bargain price, that light, the TS 3000. Great budget light, man. Best you can do. I wanted to upgrade to the bar style just because I like the more even distribution of light instead of having one massive beam in the center that just kind of spreads out. And this worked out great. All the plants looked great under this. I mean, the Sherbcake obviously is the star of the show. It was just fantastic from Tiki Cuts. But our first round under this FCE 6500 made it so easy. It's the 2024 edition. All you have to do is unbox it, unfold it, hang it up, and plug it in. It was that easy. You just turn it on and it works. I think during this grow, guys, we hit 75% as our highest percentage. No, it was probably 85% as our highest percentage on the light. Right now we're sitting somewhere in 10 or 15%, nothing crazy. And you can see this is what I'm talking about with the leaves where we had the damage come in. I think that's from the dry down that happened. And it was a, you know, if you're going to do a scheduled dry down, that's okay. I would just, you know, you probably don't want to take it that far. I mean, I don't know how long it was, but I know the sides of the tray to grow had dried out. And that to me is too much. That means all my stuff on the sides where the microbes were happy and thriving, down the sides of that where they get the most water, they were all dead. And hopefully they're coming back now, but that's what happened there. And then some of it, what it did is it forced a little new growth because they were forced to take up some nutrients. So we got a tiny bit of foxtailing. But I am not upset with anything here. I mean, just look at this nug. Like, if this landed on your desk, like, you can't tell me you wouldn't want to smoke that. It just looks fantastic. It looks like something, you know, you would get at the store from a good company, you know, an Alien Labs or a Grow Science, you know, somebody who's growing something delicious. I can't wait to smoke it. It smells so good. And it's like every single nug. Look at these. You know, it's like all the way down. And then in the back, we've got the nugs. And then if we go a little further in, we can kind of see the grape lemon cherry. You know, it's not quite done. This one's a foxtaily beast. I think it would have liked it to be a little bit colder as it finished. But you can tell, look at this. Big nug, big nug, big nug. Just produced. So we're definitely going to run that again, I think. It's just so good. Also from Tiki Cuts. Both of these from Tiki Cuts are just fantastic. Like, I just can't, you know. It's a big nug right there. So that's where we're at. Sherbcake from Tiki Cuts, the grape lemon cherry. Last things in here. Over here we have, that's the watermelon Z-Skittles from Barney's Farm. And that's the little gooey gummies, which I think we might toss in the next round. Because we do have a clone of it, and it smells great. It's got this like funk to it. I don't even know what to describe it. Just, you know, just didn't go in, went in with something else, and it went in during flower, and it didn't quite make it. But everything else in here looks so good. I'm just so excited. You know, and the real test will be, can we do it again on the next run? If the next run comes out as good or better than this run, then we know we're on to something. And I'm excited for it. So that's it this week. Super simple. Later on, we'll do a harvest video. Get you in there. Let me show you these plants from this other side. Got the flexi tank over here flexing. But just to give you a better size, the scale, so you can see it. How big that Sherbcake is from Tiki. I mean, it's massive. I let it get too big. And the only reason this grape lemon cherry isn't just as big is because I was trying to reach to do some defoliation in here after I put the trellis up across the tent, and I fell on the trellis and I snapped off a huge branches. But look, you can see, isn't this crazy? Look at this branch down here. See how it's all messed up? Totally snapped off? That has a living bud on it. Isn't that wild? Like, that's this. Like right here. Crazy. That's this. And it's still cruising. And it's just on a totally broken one. And then this one we bent. You know, did the little bend because we were trying to keep it down, but this plant just came out fantastic. I mean, I can't say enough good things about the Tiki Cuts. I'm looking forward to this winter. I'm going to pick up at least one other thing from him. But yeah, just wanted to give you a you know, the scale of that plant, because when we shoot the close-ups from the other side, you really can't see it. It's massive. And if I was growing it again, I would leave even less side branches, focus more on just having like a few main tops, and I would just let them get big because they want to. This would be the perfect thing, you know, to reverse if you're trying to add some girth, you know, to something. Like if I wanted to make an F1, which I'm going to do at some point soon, and like say I really like my Neon Sunshine, which I do. It's totally smells like Z Skittles, has nothing else coming out of it. It's amazing to smoke, but the buds are really small. So if I could reverse something like this Sherbcake and then add in, you know, something even like to the watermelon. So turn the Sherbcake into a male, take the girthiness of the male, add it to the Neon Sunshine, hopefully retain most of that Z Skittles flavor, but add some bigger nug structure. I mean, that's what I would love. And then when we start our breeding, we're gonna go down the Sherb hole. I really miss like a good Sherb, and the Sherbcake's a good place to start, but it's a little more gassy. I want to get some of that Sunset Sherbert Tropical Funk back. So we have some Sherby packs that from different things we can pop. So that should be fun. So that'll be the next journey after we do our next grow in the 5x5. All right, that's it for this week, everybody. Brad here. Arizona grows. Happy growing.